you know there are certain patterns that will give you much greater results than others, right? You've done the homework, you've proven it in your own bodies, you're living it, you're living examples of it. So I've tried to do that in all these areas as well. But I start with finance, and I went and interviewed, I wanted to help people who were losing half of what they had. So I interviewed Ray Dallyo, Carl Icahn, Warren Buffett. I had access. I mean, I'm really good at synthesizing and making it simple and actionable. Because my whole thing is, when I was a kid, I've made things so complex. I think so I felt intelligent, or maybe I was trying to prove myself to other people. I don't know what the hell I did in my 19, 20, 21, 23, 25 ages. But what I really learned is complexity is the enemy of execution. The more complex, the less likely anybody puts it through. So it takes a hell of a lot more time to take something complex and make it simple so that people, oh, that makes sense, and where they can act on it. And so I did that with that. You know, 2 #1 New York Times bestsellers, which I was thrilled with, but I was more thrilled with is seeing the economic changes. And I've gotten to meet all those people and hear those changes. And I do business programs. And so I get to hear the stories like you hear all the time, which really touches my heart. But health, you know, it's always been my piece. I had to be a biohacker to do what I do. I'm on stage 12, 13 hours a day with this stadium full of people holding their attention 4 days in a row, 7 days in a row. So I already had a lot of biohacking. If you go to my house here, I have hyperbaric oxygen upstairs. You know, I got my cryotherapy units. I've got lasers. I got every biohack you can imagine because I need it. But what really triggered me this time was like, I think I can take and show people what's happening in regenerative medicine, because we're in the middle of where everybody feels like COVID and the world's ending. Right at the same time, we're having some of the greatest breakthroughs in history because we're made of code, right? So now I'm sure you guys know about gene editing and gene therapy, but I mean, we got a kid that was on America's Got Talent who now can see again because of gene therapy. You got people with sickle cell anemia that have been cured for the first time. And so there's so many breakthroughs. And so, but what augmented it for me